As I said many times in the past, the United States is flooded with guns. There are more than 280 million privately owned firearms in our country, almost one per person. In an average year, those guns shoot or kill almost 100,000 people in America, and more than 3,000 children and teenagers die from gun violence. The solution to preventing violent crime is limiting the number of guns in all of our communities. And yet, legislation is moving forward towards a vote in the Illinois House that will allow Illinois residents to carry a loaded, concealed handgun in public. This bill must be defeated. Allowing concealed loaded handguns in Illinois can turn the simplest everyday activity into a very, very dangerous situation in your home, in your community, any place. Today, Mayor-elect Emanuel and I have sent a joint letter to members of the Illinois General Assembly expressing our strong, unequivocal opposition to concealed carry legislation, asking them to vote against concealed carry in any form. In the letter, we urge the members not to compromise their leadership, their legacy on gun issues to please individuals who would have us believe that more guns will reduce violence in our family, in our community. Many community and organization leaders who oppose this bill are working against it in Springfield, now personally carrying their message to legislators. And we have many families who have lost loved ones and those who have opposed this legislation on buses going to Springfield this morning. The vote on House Bill 148 could come at any time, so it's with great urgency that I ask every resident of Illinois who truly believes, as I do, that more guns mean more violence, to call their representative today and demand a no vote on a concealed loaded carry gun. The pro-gun lobby has been more aggressive than ever this year in efforts to weaken all of our gun laws. But we know that people support common sense legislation on weapons. A poll commissioned last month by the Illinois Council Against Handgun Violence shows overwhelming opposition to the concealed carry proposal. 56% of Illinois voters oppose the proposal. Just 34% favor a concealed carry law. When respondents were told that the proposed law would allow the carrying of concealed loaded handguns, that your gun is already loaded, rather than simply concealed handguns, opposition jumped to nearly two-thirds, with just 29% in favor of the legislation. Now, new research shows that in the past 4 years alone, nearly 300 people, including 11 law enforcement officers have been killed in shootings by people who were legally allowed to carry concealed handguns. And there is no compelling evidence, despite what the gun advocates say, to show that more guns make people safer. Some people argue that Illinois should allow concealed carry laws because most of other states do. But rates of gun violence in other states are generally the same as in Illinois. As you know, last year Chicago had the lowest number of homicides since 1965. But one is one too many. This proposal won't help those numbers. It would truly hurt them. The more handguns we see in our streets, the more of a challenge it will continue to be for law enforcement and public safety. Every day, police officers are confronted with offenders who are increasingly brazen, fearless in their actions. But at least now, police officers know that it's illegal for a person to have a gun in a public place. If this bill passes, anyone waving around a gun on the street could be a legally armed citizen of Illinois. So what does a policeman do? What decisions do they make? Remember, what decision they make, if it's counter, they will sue you, taxpayers. This is a lawyer's dream for anyone who wants to sue any government agency in the future. Let me ask Illinois, all the people of Illinois, do you want to go to a big sporting event or a Little League game thinking half the people in the stadium are armed? Well, think of that. Or to a park. Do you want guns at your neighborhood festival or block party? Or in a park like the one we're here today? CTA buses or trains? Do you want students with concealed weapons walking around every college campus in the state? Really, what kind of society do the supporters of this bill truly want? Do you want people to carry guns in malls every day, shopping every day? We are joined in opposition to this bill by the Illinois Municipal League, Institute of Medicine of Chicago, Illinois Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, Purpose Over Pain, the Federation of Independent Illinois Colleges and Universities, and many, many others. They know, as I do, that passage of this bill would send a very clear message that the people of Illinois should resolve their disputes with violence. We taxpayers save an enormous amount of money in the judiciary. The local, the state, and the federal judiciary. We save an enormous amount of money. Almost 60-70% of your tax bill is for these purposes. So do we believe now guns is a law instead of the rule of law by a judge or a jury? Just think all the money you're spending. I guess we'll settle disputes with a gun much easier. We need responsible legislation that focuses on reducing the number of handguns in our communities, not laws that encourage the citizens to carry dangerous weapons into parks, playgrounds, restaurants, and movie theaters. And it's a dilemma for law enforcement. Do they have a right to ask you? Do you have to carry a badge? What do you carry? How do I know you legally have a right to carry a concealed weapon loaded? Gun violence across our nation has become an epidemic. More guns on the streets are not the answer. More opportunities for guns to be used in violence are not the answer. Fewer guns means less violence. It's that simple. This bill should be and must be defeated. In the memory of three people that I think about, and I guess four: John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Bobby Kennedy, and all those that have been killed since then in America by our own people. That's what this bill, we should defeat this bill for, and to prevent further assassinations and killing of our children and the adults. Thank you very much.